What favorite card making supplies do you reach for all the time when making cards? My current favorites are stencils and pinpoint or debossing dies, and I am featuring them on all the cards I share and make in this video, along with a brand new fun fold. Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Hashik and I love to share the joy of card making with you by posting a new video every Monday featuring techniques, fun folds, and products that you can try. In this video, I am sharing many floral cards easily made with stencils and various stencil techniques, as well as many pinpoint or debossing dies. I love to add subtle texture to the background of my cards, and this type of die is perfect for that. So here are several cards that I made with the memory box pinpoint daisy background. So you can see what I mean. If we're doing stenciling over that very subtle background, it's flat texture, but it is nonetheless adds a lot of interest, I think, to the backgrounds. And then when you stencil over it, look at that debossing or pinpoint detail comes through the stencil. I just love that look. Here is another one I did. This one is using that same memory box pinpoint daisy background on iridescent mirror card with a pretty floral die. So you can use it with or without a stencil. This is the stencil that I used on that one. It's called Just Roses. I just wanted to show that beautiful stencil was what I used on that. At the end of this video, I'm going to share several more cards made with those two favorite card making products of mine, and of course all the details on each of the cards will be on my blog with links to the description box. This is my favorite of the floral cards I made with stencils and debossing dies. It's still very easy to make, but I added a pop-up fun fold inside of the slim line card. So I used that same memory box floral debossing or pinpoint die on the background of that, and it can repeat. So I was able to make the slim line. It has a repeating pattern, so I was able to make this in the slim line, and I used the Lustre polish from Cosmic Shimmer on the front of this through a stencil, and the stencil I used on this one was the Peking Mandala from Artplorations. Now I want to mention that Artplorations is a division of STAMPlorations, and I have a subscription to get slimline stencils from them. You can either do it quarterly or monthly or bi-monthly, and I get 3 new slimline stencils every 3 months for only $18, and that includes shipping. So that is really a bargain. And so every 3 months I look forward to getting new slimline stencils, and of course you don't have to use them on slimline cards, but that is the subscription, and there's some details in the description box for you on that one. So we have a slimline, congrats to the happy couple. So it's a love card, and on the inside is a fun pop-out fun fold, and I have done more stenciling and more debossing, and I did the eclipse technique, raising those letters up for that look there, and then I added a square cut with Scrappiness wonky square die there. And I'm going to make a mini slimline card version of this in this video using the same supplies I used in the larger one. But if you want to see how to make the larger fun fold slimline card, and to see a template for that one, be sure to watch my Facebook Live this Thursday. You can usually catch my Facebook Lives at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time, But if you miss it, it's always available on replay on my Facebook page. So be sure to like and follow that for more card making videos each week. So I'm starting with another beautiful slimline stencil from Artplorations, and this one is called Beautiful Mandala Accent Number 1. And I am going to first, on these inside pieces, sponge some Gina K turquoise ink on. These are the pieces that are both debossed and stenciled, and then I'm going to cut the word love out like I did in the bigger one, but this is going to be a mini version for the eclipse look. I particularly love the look of adding ink and picking up those lines that are in the background using the debossing dies, or pinpoint dies, whatever you would like to call them. So you can see that pretty stenciling and then the debossing on those pieces. I used the stitched heart cover plate from Cat Scrappiness to get the hearts in there, and again this is going to be another love card or wedding card, and so once again you just get the stitching of that, but it doesn't raise it or anything, and that would be a debossing die or a pinpoint die. I'm also going to use these letters LOVE, which are from a die set from Dies to Die For. It's called Hannah's Alphabet. Now I'm going to take the piece for the front and add some temporary tape on the back of that. And as you can see, this is debossed already with that pretty floral pinpoint die. And I'm also going to use the same stencil from Artplorations. And this time I am going to add Cosmic Shimmer Lustre Polish in the very pretty Tantalizing Teal color. I have a note to myself here that I want to put gloves on. I now, for the first time in my life, have pretty nails. And I have pretty nails because I've discovered Dashing Diva glazed gel nail strips, thanks to Jennifer McGuire. She too has very weak nails and was having an issue with regular nail polish or manicures, and I just couldn't afford them. But now that I've discovered these, I can have pretty nails. Well, this product gets a little messy on them and I don't want to ruin them, so I'm going to put some gloves on and before I use it on there. Now this, of course, is another, Tonic has the pretty glitzy gels that you can use, or Gina K does, but I thought this color was very, very pretty and couldn't resist trying the Tantalizing Teal Lustre Polish from Cosmic Shimmer, and it really is gorgeous on this peach with the pinpoint pattern in there. Through the stencil. So I'm going to lift the stencil up, and I have a bath already prepared. I don't want this to harden while I finish the card. As you can see, that beautiful gel through the stencil, and then that debossed background is really pretty on there, and this one is going to be for a mini slimline. I have done one in advance, as that does take a little while to dry. I layered it on an aqua blue and a peach. I am making a mini slimline version of this pop-up card. So I started with a piece that was, it says 3.5 by 12, is that right? Yep, 3.5 by 12. And or what you can do is, if you don't have a piece of 12-inch long cardstock, which I didn't in this case. My peach was 8.5 by 11. So what you can do is cut two pieces, and one would be 3.5 by 6, and one would be 3.5 by 6.5, and then you score it a 1/2 inch and you put them together. So if you have a 12-inch piece of cardstock, great, but if you don't, it can be adjusted for a smaller piece, and that's what I've done here. Your cover piece is going to be 5 3/4 by 3 1/4, and I actually ended up with 2 layers on there. And then when you open it up, we are again going to make that folding pop-up here. So you can take a piece that's 12 by 2, or you can take a piece that's 6 by 2 and 6.5 by 2, and again score it at a 1/2 inch and glue it together so that it is long enough. And we're going to score at 3 inches, 6 inches, and 9 inches, or 3 from this side. And our layering pieces are 1 3/4 by 2 3/4. Now I am going to put a picture of this template on my blog. But of course you can take a screenshot if you like. But this is a mini slimline version of that pop-up card. So this is the piece that goes in the inside, and as you can see again with the peach, I didn't have a 12-inch in peach, and that's what I wanted. So I did the version where I cut 2 pieces, and one of them had a 1/2 inch score line on it, and I put those together, and that's going to fit on the inside of the card. And then I have a piece that's going to go at the end, and that's going to be a signature piece, and that's going to cover up that. These pieces here are what I showed you that I made when I first started. Let's see if I can get them lined up here. Yep, that's right. And that's right. Not that it really matters, but I like how the pattern flows there. And we're going to cut the word love out of there. But we don't want any in this, no, that's the third one. We can have a piece in there. Okay, so getting a little temporary tape here. So the L, trying to get them straight here. L-O-V-E. And I'm going to go ahead and die cut those. My die cutting machine is just off camera here. They came out of... I still have temporary tape on the back of those, that's why they're sticking. And I need this piece. The Eclipse technique is still one of my favorites. I just love how the pattern continues from the background into the letters. So I'm going to glue these on. With a little border. I need my needle. I really like the pins that come with this glue. This is my favorite glue from Barely Art, and it has a really nice fine tip. And they have special pins that fit perfectly. But occasionally I just need to use the pen to open up the glue. Now I've also cut those letters out with Fun Foam with adhesive on the back, and that's going to raise them up, and then I will put the letters back on these. L-O-V. It's a little crooked. I know some people cut out like, I don't know, 4 or 6 layers and use it but to raise things up, but I don't have the patience to do that. I just like to use my fun foam, and then my raising is done. And if a little black of it shows, that's okay, because that's the eclipse look, which I like. So we're going to put the letters back in. Glue them onto the fun foam. So the pattern from the back, both the hearts and the stenciling, continues from the background into the letter. And there's the O. And then we put the center of the O also back in. To hold it and be patient, right? That's kind of hard to do while it sets up. And again, I don't mind that a little of that black shows. That makes the eclipse, the pattern from the background with both the stenciling and the pinpoint hearts continues from the background into the letters, and I really like that look. So our front cover is done. I've used a Simon Says stamp sentiment strip there that says wedding blessings, and then of course love. Love is a good wedding blessing. And we're going to attach this here, and I think, yeah, we allow a little, oh yeah, that's how I did it. Okay, that was smart. So I have marked with a, I measured, and what I did was I measured 3/4 of an inch up and down and 1/4 inch in, so that we end up with something that's relatively straight. So I've done that in pencil on both sides, and we'll attach it on this side. And again, we're going to look at those pencil marks and know that we have a pretty even from the top to the bottom and from the right and the left. And erase any marks that show. I've cut a piece here. I didn't have a fancy die to do it that was the right size, but I made it 2.5 by 3, and it's going to be the signature piece for our wedding card. I really like to use stitched dies to do something like this because it just adds so much more interest, but none of the squares or rectangles or any shape that I had was the right size. So of course you don't need them. It's just I like them. And then this side is going to be attached. And again, I have the markings there, so I know that it's going to be relatively straight and even from the edge and the top and the bottom. So we have our cover with that beautiful turquoise gel through the stencil onto the debossed or pinpoint background, and then when they open it up they see the word love popped up, and our mini slimline card is complete. I did, however, make a matching envelope. I have a die set from Scrappiness that makes the mini slimline envelopes with the flap at the top here. There's a traditional one too, but I just thought that was really neat. So this card will fit perfectly into that envelope and can be mailed out the next time I need a special love card. So as promised, I have a couple more cards to share with you using these same ideas. This is another beautiful slimline stencil from Artplorations. This one's called Bold Rose, and I simply stenciled, I brushed yellows and oranges and green inks through it onto a slimline piece that has some debossing details in there, just a little bit of texture, and that, did I write that down? That is a honeybee basket weave background die. So there's just a little texture back there, and another one of those stickers from Stamplations, which is so much easier to add once you have this type of detail on the front. And then here's another one that I did. This one is a pinpoint leafy debossing or pinpoint die. That one is also from Memory Box, and I simply did it on a black mirror card and then added some die cut flowers on top. Very, very simple, very fast card, but still very, very pretty. Card making and sharing card making ideas brings me great joy, and I love to send my cards out into the world to spread that joy. My challenge to you is to try something new and then send your handmade cards out to spread joy too. Click on the next video for more ideas you can try with stencils, and be sure to come back next week for more card making joy here on Karen's Creative Cards.